Welcome to the second edition of Inside Titan Sports. I'm Jeff Radcliffe. In each and every show, we're going to get you caught up on everything in the world of Titans athletics. We'll talk with the coaches, the student athletes from the 11 teams here at Eastern Florida State College. Now, on the rundown today, an update from the soccer programs. We talk tennis with Coach Jerry Thor and one of his players, and we'll check in on the volleyball program with head coach Andrea Rasmussen, one of her players as well. But first, we start on the pitch. The fourth-ranked men's soccer team, a good opening weekend up in Maryland with a win and a draw. They will have the home opener this Sunday, which they will obviously host against Lewis and Clark College. It's a game you can catch on WEFS-TV, which is the perfect segue to the women's program. We turn our attention to the number 3 ranked Titans. They won their season opener, a televised season opener, 3-0 against Andrew College. I am joined with Associate Vice President for Athletics and Head Coach Jeff Carr and Sept Barreras, the goalkeeper out of Arizona, and the U.S. Make that a Mexican U20 national teamer. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good game to start, huh?
Yes, very.
Coach, what did you think of that
Yeah,
first one? I mean, it's a good way to come out, a team that was bunkering against you guys, and you did what you needed to do.
Absolutely. We were really patient. We didn't panic. We just kind of switched the field, found our gaps, and finally broke them down and put 2 in before the first half ended.
And you got your first taste of Florida weather. What was it like waiting out? There was some rain delays in it. It ended actually prematurely. There was about 19 minutes left. What was that like to kind of see those storms kind of roll through here?
It's different because usually in Arizona we don't get a lot of rain. So when I came here, it's really difficult for a goalkeeper to play in the rain. So it gets you really nervous because the ball skips a lot. And I don't know. I liked it. I like the weather here.
The game kind of went the script early. You get a penalty, and it was Paula, and she got the PK, and then followed that up. Talk about the play of those two. They really combined a lot.
Yes, Paula and Julia, both from Spain, also played for their national teams when they were younger. They kind of feed off each other. They play very well together, and they play well with other midfields as well. And yeah, Julia set up the first goal by being taken down on a penalty, and then Julia set up Paula's second goal to bury it, and then Julia got a goal herself in the second half. So they play really well together, but you know, it's the whole team effort as well.
Sure. You have the Camargo sisters. You have a lot of people who are kind of have that thing going mentally too, right? I mean,
yes,
it certainly helps.
And you know, we're a possession-oriented team, but the young ladies have a good soccer IQ as well. So they know when they need to switch the point of attack. They know when they need to make a diagonal run or a 1-2 combination. So very, very smart. Our midfield, all our players are really.
Steph, you got to play the first 45, and you're going to be platooning here at least with Asmara Holmes. What was it like to play 45, and you got things underneath you? You've played a lot of soccer in your life, but what was it like to just play that first half and then watch the rest of it?
Usually it's a lot of pressure because you're the starting goalkeeper, so in your head it's like you have to keep a 0-0 score so that the whole team kind of has confidence in you. And then watching the second half, it's like you learn off of each other. You learn off of the other goalkeeper and what you do. It's like if she makes a mistake, then you have it in your head already, like what you should tell her after the game or what you should learn off of her.
Jeff, a good luxury to have 2 starting capable goalkeepers. I mean, it is a problem, I guess, to keep these girls happy, but it is a nice problem to have.
Well, yeah, and I've never really had that problem before. I've had some years where we struggled to have one good keeper, and we have confidence in both of our keepers. They're both solid. You know, she plays for her national team, and then Asmara was second-team All-American last year, so yeah, we have 2 quality keepers.
Got to keep them happy. What's it like for you to kind of sit back there and be somewhat bored, I guess, because you were playing a team that really kind of bunkered into the back, and you didn't really see a lot of action. Do you get bored back there? What do you do? What are you thinking about?
Yeah, I get bored, but I try to stay myself in the game by talking to the players, or sometimes I'll do like crazy things and go out of my box and I don't know, and just keep myself in the game. Ask for the ball back, or just keep talking to your players, and that's how you keep your head in the game.
Got another game coming up Friday. What things that you always talk about? Most coaches say that the most improvement happens from game 1 to game 2. Well, you think that will be the case, and what things do you want to improve on?
Well, yeah, we'll have a film session actually tomorrow with the team. But yeah, there's lots of things we need to. Our spacing needs to be better. Our angle of attack needs to be better. Our movement off the ball, our speed of play. So there's lots of things we need to work on. And Southwest Illinois, their coach is a good friend of mine. Used to be at St. Louis. They're top 10, top 12 in the country, so they're going to be a fantastic team. And then we play Lewis and Clark, another top 10 team on Sunday, so we have 2 big games ahead of us.
Shifting gears, we're just curious. You're from Phoenix, Arizona, quite different than Florida. We already talked a little bit about the weather. What brought you to Eastern Florida?
Well, Eastern Florida has a really good athletic team, and I wanted to get exposure to be seen by D1 schools, and I thought Eastern Florida was a perfect fit for me.
What is it like for you as a coach? You've got a pretty good local base of a lot of girls that are from nearby here in Brevard County, and then you get the national level players that are coming in, and how have they melded together to create such a good program?
Well, preseason was critical for them, and they did things off the field with each other, and they hang out all the time together, so the team chemistry is definitely there. And yeah, the elevation of our program just over the last few years, I mean, I have big-time Division I coaches calling me now about our players, and it's exciting for them and exciting for the school and for the program to have that type of caliber player now on our team.
So this was a 3-0 victory. The 3 goals is great, but when you have a 0, a goose egg, a clean sheet, that's the best thing as a goalkeeper, but how much of the credit goes to the back line in front of you?
It's 50-50 for everyone. If you have to go through the forwards and the midfielders, then the defenders, and then the goalkeepers. It's a team thing, so it doesn't go directly to one player. It goes as to a whole team because we're all working together and we're all working hard. As we all play as defenders and offense, so it's a team effort, not just one person.
You learn anything that you didn't already know about this team in the first one, outside that they can handle a weather delay late?
Yeah, there was some things that I think and when we break it down in film tomorrow, just our width has to be better. That was one of our concerns after watching the game film. We were a little too narrow, tucked in too much, and it made it easier for them to defend us. So, we could spread it out a little more, play with a little more width, and again, our speed of play, we got to be a lot quicker than we were.
You're a newcomer. What if some of the sophomores on the team told you about some of the competition you're going to face in Region 8 and beyond? What kind of teams are you going to be getting prepared for this year?
Yeah, they told me that usually it gets really hard as the season goes on, and every single team is different, and compared to how they played last year and to this year, it's different. It's 2 different teams. So this year we just got to work hard and get to our main goal, which is winning nationals.
Well, Jeff Carr, appreciate coming on once again. Continued good luck. Now remember, they're back in action Friday against Southwest Illinois College. It's a 4 o'clock kickoff. We'll have the call at the Titan Sports Complex live on WEFS-TV. When we come back, we will shift gears a little bit, talk tennis with new head coach Jerry Thor. A whole lot more coming your way next on Inside Titan Sports.
This is where we're building the future. This is where we meet the challenge, where leaders emerge and careers take flight. This is where you discover new opportunities. Choose to stand where excellence lives, where Titans rise. Eastern Florida State College.
I'm news columnist John A. Torres, and you have been reading my stories here in Brevard County since 2001. Whether it's covering crime and punishment, witnessing executions, or reporting from trouble spots around the world, my goal has always been the same: to be a light in the dark and bring you the truth. Please feel free to drop me a line, say hello, let me know how I'm doing, or tell about something I need to be writing about. I'm proud to call Brevard home, and I'd love to be one of the places you turn to for news.
Welcome back to Inside Titans Sports. I'm your host, Jeff Radcliffe, and we turn our attention to the brand new, beautiful tennis courts on the campus of Eastern Florida State College. We're joined by the new head tennis coach, Jerry Thor, and Mel High alum, Naomi Villa. Welcome to Inside Titans Sports. This is your first time, both of you, on television, so this is certainly going to be an interesting situation. You're just gotten here two weeks ago. What's the change to Florida for you? How's that been?
It's been fantastic. The community's great. They've been very welcoming. Everybody's been friendly, and obviously the weather's fantastic. You know, a few rain showers here, but it beats the snowstorms of Buffalo, that's for sure.
But Naomi, local product, Mel High, go Bulldogs. Easy transition for you. Why come to Eastern Florida State College for your collegiate tennis?
Well, I really wanted to stay local and be able to have my friends and family to come and support me at our matches, and I really like the program, and we just got new tennis courts, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I read a quote from you. You're really very impressed with the facilities that were just built here this past year that you're practice and play on, right?
Yeah, they're fantastic, and just the support from the top from Dr. Ritchie and our Vice President of Athletics, Jeff Carr, making sure that we had top-notch facilities for top-notch student athletes.
Explain to me just a little bit where we at in the season. In college tennis, you've got a fall season and a spring season. What have you guys been doing, as of late, getting ready for fall here?
I mean, we've just been pretty much training every day. We have the FIT Invitational coming up, so that's kind of what we're mainly focusing on
at the moment. And then later on, you've got regionals in Altamont Springs. Is that something where you put a pin on the board? This is what our target is for the fall? Is that the end-all, be-all?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything we're doing in the fall is preparing us for that. So it's training every day in practice, hitting the weight room, working on our conditioning levels, and then of course some scrimmage matches to get some experience and tweak a few things so that we can make a run at that region championship coming up next month.
As a tennis player, is there a certain time you want to peak when you're a collegiate tennis player? I mean, you're new to this, obviously. I'm sure it's very similar to high school in some respects and different in others. How is that game a little bit different then?
I mean, right now I'm just trying to get as good as I can get. I really want to improve by the end of the season by a lot more than how I was in high school. High school compared to college is way different. It's like there's a lot more pressure, and I feel like I need to train harder. So.
Naomi is going to be one of your stars here. Talk about some of the other contributors you'll have this year. You got the flights 1 through 6, and then the 1 through 3 doubles. And what are some of the names we're going to be learning about this season?
Sure, we have our captains coming back, Danielle Copeland, Allie Alexander. Both really kind of kept the glue together at the team in the process. Me coming on board. We have Julie Hull, comes from Costa Rica, and she should have a big impact for us as well. But I think all the girls. They just really have an attitude. They want to work hard. They're enthusiastic. They want to contribute, and I'm excited to work with them. And we have good things in store for the Titans tennis program.
Naomi, for those who watch tennis casually, maybe watch the U.S. Open, how is the team aspect? How does that thing set up when you're in a competition? How is it a team sport, not just an individual sport that we would see on television?
Well, for us, it's really important to cheer each other on and be really supportive. A lot of the times when we play, it's really important that each person tries to do their best and win each match so that we can move on.
And you're going to have a balancing act, not just this season, but then next season, the men's tennis program starts. Is this going to be a luxury just to have the girls here for a year before you take both? And was that one of the lures to coming here to Eastern Florida State College?
Yeah, I'm really excited. The women's program's still in its early stages. We're entering year 3. Still getting things on track, so there's room to grow. And then starting a men's program fresh, I can't beat it, bringing in a whole group of players for year 1. We expect to be competitive right away at the regional and national levels, and I'm excited. It's a great place for student athletes to attend school, and I'm sure we'll have a good group coming in.
How's Coach Thor been maybe different than the coaches you've had in the past? I'm sure when you're a tennis player you have individual coaches too growing up as you're learning a little bit, but how is a collegiate coach a little bit different than what you've had in the past?
Well, right now he's been really awesome. He just came, so he's just kind of getting adjusted to everyone. And it's been really nice to have somebody that knows what he's doing and really is going to help us progress this season.
And can you explain, I guess, a little bit to some of the folks at home? We talked about that fall season, spring season. How is the spring season different? Is that something you build toward now, or you worry about when you get there past the winter break?
Spring season's our championship season, so fall's more individual based, where we're working on improving, developing, players getting a lot of experience. Then when we hit the spring, we shift gears. Now it's teams together that we walk away from the courts with a win or a loss as a team. And we want to be strong at the top of the lineup, but still have depth at the bottom of the lineup. And everybody's points, you win or lose, all those points count. So a win at 1 singles, a win at 6 singles, it factors into whether Titans win for the day. So we're excited to build towards a strong spring season.
We already talked to Coach about the facilities you're going to be playing on. If you haven't seen them, folks, you got to check out these courts that are over on the Melbourne campus. You got a chance to try them out before coming here and talking about these beautiful blue and green courts that you're going to get to be playing on.
Definitely. When I first saw them, I had to come and try it out and practice on here. It was really nice. Everything about it is up to date and perfect, pretty much.
Naomi and Coach Thor, appreciate it, and good luck this season and this fall season. You got those scrimmages against FIT coming up, and then the regionals in Altamont Springs. We're going to take another short break. When we come back, we talk with the head volleyball coach, Andrea Rasmussen, and one of her players as the Titan volleyball season now in full rotation. Please stay with us.
Eastern Florida State College. This is where you discover new opportunities, where you pursue your dreams, and careers take flight. Apply now for new bachelor and associate degree programs in business, healthcare, computer technology, and other growing fields. Eastern Florida, where Titans rise. Apply today.
Since coming to the Space Coast in 1999, I've enjoyed getting to know the people and landscape of Brevard by helping with Florida Today's coverage of arts, entertainment, philanthropy, and the social scene. Thanks to my southern roots, I love good food, good company, and a good story. As Florida Today's food and dining writer, I get to combine the three into what I think is the best job in the world. Join me in exploring everything from trendy fine dining spots to mom and pop places with great food that doesn't cost more than a week's grocery bill. Know of a place I should try? Let me know, or better yet, let's do lunch.
Welcome back to Inside Titan Sports. I'm your host, Jeff Radcliffe. Thanks so very much for joining us. And now we move inside to the Titan Fieldhouse and talk a little volleyball with head coach Andrea Rasmussen and freshman libero Avery Lewis. Welcome to the program, guys. And welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
So a very, very busy week, a number of games. You dropped to 2-4, had a couple of losses, but starting to turn the table here at a big 3-1 win against Gulf Coast, and that's a good sign going forward, right?
It really was. We played two very tough teams this weekend in Santa Fe and Manatee, ranked nationally, very good teams. And we played with them and held our own and did a nice job, but it was really nice to see some things finally click in the Gulf Coast match, and we're able to pull out with the win.
Avery, you come from the other side of the state, a graduate of Eastlake High School. Talk a little bit about your transition to collegiate volleyball. How has it been different so far? I know you're only 6 games in.
It's a little different. It is a lot more fast-paced and more competitive, and all the girls are ready to win and play, and it's really exciting to be a part of this program.
The bad news is you started with 6 straight road games to start the season, but now you get to go through this nice run of home games, 6 there inside the Titan Fieldhouse, and it couldn't come at a better time, right?
No, it really couldn't. We're starting to play very well, and we've worked out a few of the kinks, so it'll be nice to showcase the things that we've learned in the last 6 matches on our home court in the next 6 matches.
Avery, what things have you guys learned from those first 6?
What I've learned in the past 6 games, I feel like a lot of it was team chemistry and learning how to play together, because we do have not as many as returning sophomores, and we have a bunch of returning or coming in freshmen. And I think that as soon as we learn how to play together and we trust each other and what we can do as players, I think we'll be great and really successful moving on.
Talk a little bit more, Coach, about that win over Gulf Coast. It was a 3-1, and how the girls kind of responded to adversity in that match too.
It was a great match for us. We had struggled earlier against Santa Fe and Manatee with our defensive plays, and our block really came on strong against Gulf Coast. We had over 12 team blocks, which is huge, allows our defense to set up behind them and play out. Our first contact really came through our serve receive, and our defensive touches looked great. So I think that allowed us to be able to run an offense that we can be effective with. So we're finally getting those things to fall in place, whereas it's been a struggle coming into that.
One of the good things to talk about, you might have lost to Santa Fe this past week, but you're going to get them again this weekend. And that's something you got to be licking your lips and licking your chops for. You get a chance to get back at them at home.
Yeah, we're really excited about that, because we have played them before, and now we know their weaknesses. And instead of going in not really knowing the type of players that they are, now we do know, and I think we have a lot better shot of beating them this time.
You feel that the girls learned something from that experience on the road?
I think they did. We saw growth in every match, which is something that right now is our main focus as we go through. We're not playing conference matches yet, so these matches are great for our record, but really don't count against us at the end of the day. So we're really it's a growing process and a learning process, and we hit a few learning curves and struggled, and now we're finally starting to find our stride. So I think we're headed in the right direction.
Ready to hit full stride before the televised games that are coming up on WEFS. Pretty cool to be playing on television. Is that something you get up for?
Yeah, I'm really excited about it. I've never been on television before with volleyball, so I'm excited.
And just curious, I mean, you're coming from the other side of the state. There's obviously other options school-wise to go play collegiate volleyball. What brought you over to this side and to play with Coach Rasmussen?
I feel like it was really attractive to me that it was a new and upcoming program, and I just really wanted to contribute and be a part of it. And all the girls, when I came on my visit, it was really competitive style play, and that attracted me the most out of it.
2 games on Saturday, not just Santa Fe. So before that, you got to play South Florida. What kind of challenges does that present? And in volleyball, these girls are used to playing in club and in high school, playing multiple matches on a weekend. What's the challenge in that, and playing 2 quality teams in a row?
We obviously have to figure out our fitness level and make sure we're prepared mentally and physically. I think having played Santa Fe already, we'll know what to expect in our match against them. I think we'll be well prepared for that match. Not having seen South Florida yet is going to present a little bit of a problem. But if we play strong and we play well, doing what we need to do, focusing on our first contact and being able to run an offense, I don't really think it matters who's on the other side of the court as long as we're controlling what we need to do.
Avery, talk some about your teammates. Who do you think has stood out so far? Maybe some people that you can pick some things up for as far as volleyball IQ. Who are some people that have stood out for you? So far?
I feel like a lot of the sophomores, especially our captains, Ju and especially Lindsay, they're really talkative, and it does put a positive outcome on the team, because sometimes we do get down, and they make a really good example of what a team leader should look like, and they're just really good. I like them a lot. I think that they have good examples.
Coach, and in your playing and coaching career, what point in the season do you really find that magical run where these girls are starting to know each other, and that usually presents good things on the court as well? Is there a certain point in the season, or does that vary?
I think it varies team to team, but usually across the board, August is a rough start for everybody. It's new, it's different for a lot of people, it's a big challenge. So usually when you hit mid-September and you've played 10, 15, 20 matches under your belt, then you start to feel more confident in your lineups, and you start to see people fall into place a little bit better. I think that's when you notice more of a stride and more of really figuring things out.
Question I asked early in the program, talk about what you know that is coming up about the conference and some of the opponents you're going to be playing. What have the returners, some of these sophomores, told you about what it's going to be like going down the stretch?
Well, they did tell me that it is going to be kind of hectic and crazy, because we do have over, I think, 30 games, so it's a busy schedule. So the main thing that they told me to focus on is get sleep, focus, and just get rested and everything, because it is exhausting. And the type of play that we're going to see, I feel like is really tough, and it's going to be competitive, but I know that our team is going to pull through and do really well.
We mentioned the road games to home games disparity. What is it about playing, I mean, a court is a court no matter where you go a lot of times. Maybe you have a different surface you're playing on, wood or a sport court, but playing at home, and what benefits does that bring to the team? I mean, one of the obvious things is they're sleeping in their own beds, but that does mean a lot, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. Being able to sleep in their own beds, being able to play on the floor that we practice on and have had, 30, 45 days worth of workouts on definitely helps to feel at home. And you also get the support from the community and staff and other student athletes that come to our matches. So it's a very exciting atmosphere for the girls to play in. So instead of hearing people cheering for the other team, now we're being cheered for.
Well, best of luck this week. It is a busy week, as it always seems to be in college volleyball at Eastern Florida State College. We know you're going to ride that momentum this week for the Titans. Thank you, Coach Rasmussen and Avery. Glad to meet you for the first time. All right, hope to see you again.
Thanks.
And that's all the time we have for you on this edition of Inside Titans Sports. Make sure you catch us each week to get your fill of Eastern Florida State College athletics. You can check the website for the latest scores, stories, and info as well. So for all our guests, Andrea Rasmussen, Avery Lewis, Jerry Thor, Naomi Vila, Jeff Carr, and Steph Barreras, I'm Jeff Radcliffe saying thanks for watching and go Titans.